come to your comfortable seat, and we are going to bring the awareness inwards. So we're just going to find some stillness and we're going to focus on the breath. But I will guide you through it for the first couple of minutes. So just finding somewhere that you can place your hands, maybe down in your lap, maybe on the knees, maybe alongside you. But just find somewhere that you won't be too distracted. And if it feels comfortable for you to do so, just close down the eyes. And just become aware of what's around you. So just notice any sounds that you might be able to hear. I can hear the birds beginning to wake up. And notice how you feel this morning. Maybe you feel ready and raring to go. Maybe you're still waking up. Maybe depending on where you are in the world, you're actually ending the day instead. And so maybe reflecting on how your day's been. And then without changing anything about the breath at all, just begin to bring your awareness to it. So do you breathe in through the nose or through the mouth? Do you breathe into the belly or do you tend to breathe up in the chest? Don't need to change anything, but just notice. And then if it feels comfortable to maybe play a little bit, just begin to lengthen your inhales. Take a deeper breath in. And then try and match the length of that inhale with your exhale. So essentially just deepening the breath, maybe slowing things down a little. And just notice how that feels. Do you feel the expansion in the body as you inhale and take all of that air into the lungs? Just become aware of how it feels for you. And if the eyes are closed, maybe just begin to blink them open. And keeping hold of that deep inhale, exhale. It's going to see us through this practice. We're going to bring some movement into things, but we're going to marry it with the breath this time. So maybe just taking the hands out to the sides, just to begin with. As you inhale, we're going to send the arms up overhead. Reach through the tips of the fingers, and then exhale, bring them all the way back down onto the mat. Inhale, send the arms up high. Really reach, feel the side body reaching, stretching. And exhale, send the arms back down. Inhale, send the arms up overhead. Maybe if you'd like to, gazing up at the hands. And then as you exhale, sending the hands back down. Let's take the left hand onto the right knee. And that right hand can come either out to the side or maybe out behind you. As you inhale, think nice and long through the spine. Keep the chin parallel to the ground, but think about like a puppet with a string pulling out from the top of your head. Nice and long through the spine on inhales, and then use your exhales just to feel into that twist towards the right. And we're not pulling ourselves around towards the right. We're just going to meet our body where it kind of naturally twists to. So if you took your hands away, your body would remain where it is. Breathe into the twist. And then on your next inhale, let's come through center and bring the arms up overhead just for a moment. And then we'll take it to the other side. So as you exhale, let's take the right hand Onto the left knee this time. Left hand comes either out to the side or out behind you. Take a nice deep inhale as you think nice and long through the spine, grow really tall. And then as you exhale, twist it round towards the left. Again, not cranking ourselves round into the pose, just meeting ourselves where our body naturally comes to. And again, you can test it by taking your hands off and your body shouldn't move. As you inhale, come back through center. Let's take the arms up overhead. Really nice, everyone. Then let's just bring the arms out in front of us. This one's a little complicated, but don't worry too much. Just let it go. We're going to take the right arm over the top of the left arm. We're just going to cross them over. And then all we're going to do is bend through the elbows and just continue that crossing around. So this will very much look different for everybody, depending on your anatomy and just how it feels for you. But we're trying to bring the palms together. So there's so many yogis who can bring their arms like perfectly in line. I can't. I can only just about bring my hands together. So even that shows you I've been doing yoga for about 6 years now. So just bringing the hands together, bringing them out in front of you. I'll just turn so you can just see where I am here. And then all we're going to do is lift up the elbows. Gaze straight ahead, but lift up the elbows. And you should feel a really lovely stretch all across the top of your back and through your shoulders. Keep breathing, think nice and long through the spine. Sit really tall as you breathe into that stretch. And on an exhale, just guide the arms back down and unravel. Let's take it to the other side. So take the arms out in front of you. And this time we're going to take that left arm over the top of the right, bend at the elbows, and then just kind of wrap them around as kind of feels as comfortable as it can for you. Same thing, gazing straight ahead as you inhale, sit nice and tall, grow really long through the spine, and just send those elbows up. Focusing out in front of you. I'll just twist so you can see me again. Focusing straight out in front of you, lifting through the elbows. It's going to give you such a nice stretch through the top of the back and the shoulders. Breathing into that deep stretch. And then on your next exhale, just unraveling, bring the hands back out. We're just going to come to all fours for a second. And yesterday we went through cat-cow pose. So you're going to do the same today. Bring your hands down underneath you, keeping your hands underneath your shoulders. And you want to kind of bring your knees underneath your hip points. If I move forward, you can see my feet a little better. You can be on the tops of your feet or you can tuck the toes here, just finding whatever feels best for you and your balance. And then all we're going to do is move through a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So as you inhale, we're going to drop the belly down and we're going to gaze up towards the ceiling. And then on an exhale, we're going to reverse the motion. So press through the mat, arch through the back, gazing down, maybe tucking the chin into the chest. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze up. Exhale, press the ground away, arch through the back, send the chin to the chest. Just take 2 more rounds here in line with your own breath's rhythm. So just getting used to the fact that your practice will probably look different to mine and different to the next person. And that is so totally okay. And that's what we want. After your last exhale, just come back to find that neutral spine. And then we're just going to walk ourselves back into child's pose. So in child's pose, you can have your knees together here, or you can send your knees out wide and bring your big toes to touch. Obviously, if you have your knees out wide, you're going to have a deeper stretch in the hips. But then we're just going to send the hips, the bum, back towards the feet, and we're going to walk the hands forwards to find child's pose. Sinking down towards the mat. Your forehead can come to touch the mat here, or if that's not so comfortable, you can grab a pillow and you can come to rest on the pillow. You can rest up on the pillow. There's so many different ways to modify. I just really love you to get used to not worrying about it looking a certain way and actually caring more about how it feels for you. So just spending a few rounds of breath in child's pose. You can be up on the fingertips. And child's pose is a lovely one to really connect back to your breath here. You can drop in and really focus back on those inhales and exhales. When you're ready to, we're just going to come back up the same way as we came in. So bringing those hands back in and then just rising up, sending the hips up, and we're going to be in this all fours position. All we're going to do is swing the legs around to one side and we're going to come to lie on the back. And we're going to find my personal favourite pose, which is bend through the knees. And we're going to bring the knees into the chest here. Give yourself a nice big hug. Maybe interlace the hands, finding a nice hug here on your back with the knees into the chest. There's always options. So you can rock from left to right here, massage the lower back. You can place the hands on the knees and you can kind of guide them around into clockwise and then anti-clockwise circles, again, just to massage through the lower back. And then when you're ready, we're just going to send the feet back down onto the mat. We're going to send the legs out long. The arms can come alongside the body. And we're going to end today in our final resting pose. Also called Shavasana. And I appreciate lying flat on your back on the ground isn't always the most comfortable for everyone. So you can always end the practice in whatever comfortable seat you began in. Just finding somewhere you can find some stillness in a way that is most comfortable to you. If you're lying in Shavasana, just begin to allow everything to grow really heavy. Feel like you're melting down into the ground. Let your ankles drop out. Release any tension in the shoulders. Relax the muscles of the face. And just allow yourself to be. Close down the eyes. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And I will leave you there. If you have some extra time to spend in that final resting pose, absolutely give yourself permission to. It's so essential that we give ourselves this time and that we give ourselves permission to take that when we need it and get used to it. I think sometimes we can feel maybe a little guilty for doing that. Or it might feel really strange for us, like there's a million and one other things that we should be doing. But just taking those kind of small snippets of time out are actually really, really important and helpful for us in daily life.